Now in India, cricket isn't just a sport but a religion. And Indians here are emotionally attached to the game. And needless to say, India versus Pakistan match is not just any other match. It's an amalgamation of emotions, patriotism and vengeance. The political tensions between the two nations has halted the bilateral cricket ties. But let me tell you, the relationship between the two nations took an ugly turn after the terror attack of 26/11. India last travelled to Pakistan in the year 2008 for the 50-over Asia Cup. And since then, playing on the Pakistan soil has been a major debate in the cricket fraternity. In the latest, the former Indian cricketer Harbhajan Singh, the Turbanator, has clean bowled Pakistan when asked about the Asia Cup. He said that India must not travel to Pakistan for the matches. And according to the veteran spinner, the situation in our neighbour's soil is not conducive for international cricket. He said that the safety of Indian players is of paramount importance. Echoing BCCI's sentiments, Bhaji said that if the country is not safe for its ex-Pakistan's Prime Minister Imran Khan, how can it be safe for the Indian players then? My colleague Karishma spoke to Harbhajan Singh, and let's take a listen to that exclusive conversation.
Joining us is former India cricketer Harbhajan Singh. Harbhajan, thank you so much for giving us your time and speaking to us on Times Network firstly. You're here in the Legends League cricket. How is it being with old friends, frenemies, playing in this league?
Well, obviously it's great to be here in Qatar playing alongside with a lot of my old mates, and of course against some of the legends of the game. It's been brilliant, lovely to be playing cricket again. This is the only thing I kind of knew, playing cricket. So doing that again, it's a great sort of opportunity for me to, meet all of my friends, I used to play against.
And Harbhajan, talking about Indian cricket, good news, we've qualified for the World Test Championship as well. We're going to be going to England to take on Australia. How are you looking at the championship final? We missed against New Zealand, but against Australia, how do you think India's placed?
Well, it's going to be a good game because Australia in England will be a different side altogether. What we have seen them in India, on those turning wickets, they couldn't bat at all. But in the last game where we saw, wicket was slightly better to bat, and they could, where they actually showed, they have the talent, they have the, mental strength that to be there and to score those runs. And Australia and England will be a different challenge altogether. But yeah, Team India, I think, need to prepare themselves well to win this one, because it's a great opportunity to lift another big trophy.
And if I talk about the Border Gavaskar Trophy, Virat Kohli has been a big positive with that 186 in the last test, or even Shubman Gill coming into his own in Test cricket. So those are going to be good points going ahead to England.
Yeah, obviously it's always nice to have that confidence as a batsman or a bowler. You need it, getting into some bigger series or some bigger event. Virat Kohli is a Virat Kohli. Obviously, I was expecting him to score 200. I even predicted it in my YouTube videos where what I make, that he'll go on to score 200. But good to see Shubman Gill, taking that responsibility as a opener and giving the start what team required, and of course having 3, 4, 5 guys in good form will help India to do really well against Australia in that final.
And Harbhajan, Rohit Sharma also spoke about Rishabh Pant and how the Indian team was missing him. We saw a video of Rishabh Pant recovering in the pool, getting back to form. But somewhere the entire country is praying for him to have a big comeback.
Yeah, obviously we all want him to, get well very soon. He's gone through a lot, and only his parents, his very close friends would actually know what kind of pain he must have been, and we all want him to recover, and we all want to see him playing cricket again and doing what he was doing earlier for Team India and winning lots and lots of games for Team India. But yeah, I sincerely wish that he gets fit really soon and he start playing cricket.
Last question, Harbhajan. This is going to be an important year for India. We have the Asia Cup, we have the World Cup in India. So a lot of cricket fans are, of course, going to look forward to India versus Pakistan. So what do you make of these two tournaments, and do you think at this point in time it's safe for India to travel to Pakistan?
No, I don't think India will travel to Pakistan because it's not safe to go there. We see a lot of things happening there every second or the other day, and why would we want to travel there in that country where their prime minister is not safe? Some people go on to fire on him. Other day I was going through some
The police station.
there are a lot of things happening, so I don't think it's safe, and Team India should not travel there. This is what I believe, and yes, you want to play India Pakistan, that's like on a neutral venue, that's there's no harm. They always play them in Dubai or different venues.
Or ICC tournaments.
Yeah,
for that
ICC
matter.
tournament, but those ICC tournament, if it's happening in Pakistan, and I think India should not go.
Now, this comes in the backdrop of the BCCI refusing to play Asia Cup in Pakistan. While the matter is still up in the air, the Indian Cricket Board has made it abundantly clear that it will not tour the neighbouring nation in line with the policy that our government has adopted. Recently, BCCI Secretary Jay Shah has attended the Asia Cricket Council meet in Dubai, wherein he informed the PCB chairman Najam Sethi that they cannot play games there. I am joined by Karishma and the guests for more on it. And let me first go across to my colleague who is joining me right now. Well, Karishma, we just played out that exclusive interaction that you had with Harbhajan Singh, and he has put it out in as many words that there is no question of Indian players jeopardizing their safety and traveling to the neighboring nation of Pakistan to play sports. He goes on to say that Pakistan has a serious law and order situation when they cannot keep their former prime minister safe. What safety can Indian players be assured? But what about playing at neutral locations? What do we know about it? Can there be matches between India and Pakistan then?
Well, yes, absolutely. That is something that Harbhajan Singh said in our interview, that traveling to Pakistan is not an option that India can even think about because it is not a safe country. He went on to say that the Prime Minister in that country is not safe. So how can the Indian team go? But yes, neutral venues is a possibility, but that too only in ICC tournaments. There is no chance of any sort of bilateral series happening between India and Pakistan anytime soon.
Absolutely, Karishma. But clearly, as far as Harbhajan Singh is concerned, he made it amply clear that Pakistan has to first walk its talk when it comes to safety being assured to the players. And this is quite much in tandem with the government's own policy. Do we know that can there be a rethinking in the government's policy as well if India decides to play Pakistan at neutral locations? Well, we'll try and reconnect with my colleague Karishma. But in the meanwhile, I'm also joined by our guest at this hour, where it's Nikhil Sharma, who is a sports commentator and an author. And I'm also joined by Rajinder Amarnath, who's a former cricketer. A very good evening to both of you, sir. And thank you for joining us here at the Daily Mirror. And we are discussing what Harbhajan Singh has spelt it out for all of us here. He says that, when it comes to the India-Pakistan match, often it's spoken about that, politics between the countries and politics within the country must not dominate the sporting ties. But when it comes to Pakistan, I'll take that question across to you, Mr. Amarnath. When it comes to Pakistan, we've been seeing it's an absolute breakdown of law and order. Given that situation then, do you think India should at all contemplate about taking their players over there, but at a neutral location, that possibility can still be explored?
Thank you very much. I think you have said everything in your summary that it's not a safe place to go and play cricket in Pakistan. And nobody can deny this factor. The situation which we have been watching day in and day out clearly shows us what kind of a law and order situation exists in Pakistan. The former Prime Minister is hiding from being arrested. and there are thousands and thousands of supporters are on the street. Which government is going to take the security of Indian players? Even if they try the level-based, the possibility of a mishap really exists. In the situation like this, it will be absolutely unnecessary to step on a soil where there is no guarantee that your players are going to be safe. Just because Pakistan happens to be the host for Asia Cup this year, that does not mean that you have to jeopardize the lives of Indian players. The board secretary has made it amply clear that they are willing to play Asia Cup provided it's played on a neutral venue. That could be Dubai, that could be wherever it is going to be. But yes, asking my opinion, I really feel sad for people of Pakistan who really love cricket. It's very unfortunate that at this stage, they cannot watch any international cricket. There have been few, but none can be compared between India and Pakistan. Both countries come to a standstill, be it that side of a border or be it in India. I would like to watch that cricket. Definitely, I would like to watch that cricket, but not at the sake of my cricketer's life.
Absolutely. And let me take that question across to Nikhil Sharma also. You know what Mr. Amarnath was just spelling it out for all of us is that everybody loves an India-Pakistan match. It is always the most edge of the seat match that everybody looks forward to. It's a high-octane match each time around. But it eventually fails the fans world over to not be able to see these two greats coming together to play cricket. Do you think that there should be a sense that Pakistan must look inward and realize this fact, perhaps get its house in order in that sense? That whether it's law and order situation, there's an emergency-like situation, you have Imran Khan running for safety, running for cover. How can we ever expect sports taking a precedence in a country like that?
Well, I think the problem really is twofold. The first problem essentially, and the reason that India has not been playing cricket since in Pakistan since 2008 is because bilateral ties between India and Pakistan are at an all-time low. There seems to be absolutely no reason to believe that the government's stance will change anytime soon, given the fact that while I'm no expert on political policy, I don't think there's enough indication from Pakistan's side to have to change India's viewpoint as to to ensure that those bilateral ties are better, and thus the cricketing ties resume bilaterally. Should we play cricket? Yes, but not at the cost of, is cricket important? Yes. Does everybody in India and Pakistan want to watch India play Pakistan in bilateral tie? Yes, but I think first and foremost, it's very important to understand that the Indian government has a policy that needs to be followed by the BCCI, by all the other federations, as well as the Indian cricket team. That's problem number one, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Should Pakistan, as your question, put their house in order? I'm fairly sure the powers to be there are fairly aware of it. But as things stand currently, it's the nation is facing quite a turmoil, whether it's economic, whether it's political, whether it's security. As things seem to us this side of the border and to the rest of the world, the place doesn't look safe right now. And I agree with what the Indian government has as a directive issued, what the BCCI has stored, and what Harbhajan Singh spoke about. That as long as the state remains the same, the only place we could play Pakistan is in a neutral venue, or a venue that is not Pakistan. And even if the PCB decides to host the tournament in a Dubai or any other neutral venue, we could play ICC events there. But I think I think it's incredibly important to kind of stress on the fact that at this point in time, given the directives of the Indian government, bilateral ties are just not possible. I don't see them, renewing anytime soon, given the fact that it's been a really long time. So, for the cricket fans, all we can expect is an Asia Cup at a neutral venue if, Pakistan being the host decide to do that. And ICC events like the World Cup, wherein, in India, Pakistan.
Yeah, but that's exactly the question I want to take to Mr. Amarnath. Then what is the fate of the Asia Cup then? Because it's not just the Indian players, if they decide to go ahead and honor the invitation to be a part of the Asia Cup, is going to be at a risk. It's going to be the risk for all the players alike, whoever wants to participate in the Asia Cup. At that juncture then, Mr. Amarnath, the players also are losing out on their years of good cricket when it comes to Pakistan and India playing together, or perhaps, being able to give that across to several fans across the globe. Do you think that what is going to be the fate of the Asia Cup is something that Pakistan will have to really introspect, and perhaps law and order situation where we have been seeing some really terrifying scenes playing out in Pakistan, perhaps that can be first curbed before they can think about cultural ties with India or any other country for that matter?
Well, if you go back to the cricket history between India and Pakistan, we have had very long gaps when we have not played cricket against each other. Especially if you look at the period between 1960 and 1978. We have had those two wars, 65 and 71. And situation was probably worse than what we see in Pakistan now, because they looked at Indian cricketers also from the eyes that they are our enemies. Thankfully, that feeling does not exist anymore. But coming to situation of Asia Cup, I hope it doesn't fall into the same category as SAARC, where because of one nation, you don't have SAARC so often. The meetings which are supposed to be held for the region is not happening. Now, coming back to Asia Cup, surely the government of India will play a very prominent role, whether to allow Indian players or not. What I have been hearing from the government of India for the last many years is that, that relations cannot be normal while certain activities are happening from across the border. So everybody is aware of that fact. And but I definitely, as a cricketer, feel quite sad that cricketers are the one who are been, in the sense, not been able to play against each other. But somebody has to bear the brunt.
But Mr. Amarnath, how do you see when you look at news and it's all about Imran Khan trying to run to rescue and trying to wait for summons from the court to try and give him yet another day of relief? For a former Pakistan's captain and a former Pakistan's Prime Minister being treated in this manner, how do you see this entire episode that is unfolding in Pakistan right now vis-a-vis Imran Khan, and what message does it send across to the world?
I'll tell you, if you happen to remember, Imran Khan, when he was not holding power, he used to come to India quite often. And if I'm not wrong, he met Prime Minister Modi also, and he requested to resume Indo-Pakistan bilateral series. He was very, very keen that it should start, but it never took place. And now the same gentleman who had been a former Prime Minister of Pakistan is really running for cover. He doesn't know where to hide himself. He has thousands of supporters surrounding his house to protect him. If that kind of situation exists in Pakistan, you look at Pakistan, where will you hold these matches? Islamabad, Lahore, Karachi. Karachi has already seen when Sri Lankan players were attacked. Fortunately, nobody lost their life there. Quite a few were injured. And if that kind of situation arises during the Asia Cup, how will you get your players out of Pakistan? is going to be a terrible situation. Imagine the plight of families who will be watching in horror if at all something of this kind happened. So I hope better sense prevail across the border. Pakistan Cricket Board also should understand that for the safety of players, they should not hold Asia Cup in Pakistan, no matter if they are supposed to hold it. No, don't go ahead with it, please. Think of your future. If there's something of that can happen again, especially the episode of Sri Lanka being repeated, it will be end of the road for teams coming to Pakistan forever. And Pakistan needs certain amount of money to continue their cricket. Surely Asia Cup was supposed to give them that kind of a gate money, but if you have to give security to players, I don't think so. They're going to open gates for people to come and watch cricket. It's going to be empty stands. Matches are going to be just televised and people are going to be watching it sitting at home. They can do the same thing if it was to be held in Dubai or anywhere in Middle East.
Absolutely, Mr. Amarnath. Thank you for putting that into perspective and even drawing that anecdote from history that, it's not the first time around that India and Pakistan has been at loggerheads in this manner and not agreed to play cricket together. And appreciate both of you joining us and sharing your views on the subject that we were discussing here at the Daily Mirror. Thank you so much for your time. And now we're moving on to some